This is Huda's last big eyeshadow palette, Icy Nude. And I look forward every holiday season to see the release of Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palette. So I couldn't resist myself and I purchased Icy Nude. Alongside with this eyeshadow palette, Huda Beauty has released two new shades of the blush filters. This is a formulation that I haven't tried yet, and the two shades are more of like a bronzer, a blush slash bronzers. So I will be applying this baby as well. She has released a few more shades of the Faux fillers. I went ahead and picked two out of the three, although I may end up going back for the third one because I think we're just like 1 or 2 days away for the Sephora sale to start. And as you can tell, I already have foundation, concealer, a little bit of cream bronzer on. I will be leaving all the details of my makeup, of where to find, the entire collection on the description box below, along with the links for your convenience. And everything will be also tagged on the YouTube shop. And let's start with the eyeshadow palette, Icy Nude. Take a peek at this baby. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And we all know Huda, she loves her mauve, pinky tones. This is not only a cool tone eyeshadow palette, but there are some warmer tones on this side. Although this one has what it seems like a little bit of an aubergine kind of tone. I will be inserting a video clip of this palette under the sunlight so you can really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and give it a quick swatch because we have a ton of new formulations. This palette though features more matte shades, which it is a good thing. I know we all like the sparkly finish, but mattes are awesome. Okay, let's go for Eyes Out. What? Wow, that's incredible. That's so beautiful. And it feels super creamy. High Life, super smooth formula. Cool tone, and then we have Platinum. This is more of like a dense metallic finish. And then we have Unapologetic, an awesome matte shade. Okay, swatching really nice and smooth. Okay, this one swatch really nice too. Oh my gosh, this shade is spectacular. Faux Fur Gold Standards, which it looks like a metallic with some foil kind of effect. We have this matte white shade, Fun. Let's just build it up. It's called Avalanche. And then this shade that this is just incredible. Look at that. Foil, completely foil. That's Aurora. This shade has more texture called VVS. Oh, it's cushy. I cannot wait to swatch it. Poise, grayish with a little bit of like a purple hue to it. An aubergine tone, She Rich. Cold Plunge. Okay, everything in this icy theme. Okay, that's so smooth. Wow. That's so nice. Okay, this one I'm finding a little bit of fallout. Thank goodness I put up. You don't know, friends. I film in my room and there's a rug right here. The rug is pretty much white. I have a towel underneath to prevent anything that I will be sorry afterwards. Okay, this is a really nice shade too, creamy tone. It has been a long time since I have seen this kind of pastel pink shades in an eyeshadow palette. Then we have the shade Bling. Oh, okay, this is like a straight up glitter. Like it doesn't even really feel like it has a base to grip on. So we'll see on that. And then One Self matte shade. Let's do this matte shade here. Okay. These are, yeah, you're gonna need, on this one, it feels like you're applying sand. It is just, it's a lot of glitter scattered, so you're gonna need a glitter glue. And these are some of the things that I love from Huda Beauty is that she brings new formulations. She's never afraid to bring us something different on her eyeshadow palettes. We have here Diamond Dew. These two shades are same, like very textured but creamy at the same time. And then we have Lavish, another matte shade, and First Class, another matte shade. This is so good. I will say these shades is better to apply them with finger because look how metallic they look and glossy and beautiful. Imagine that I still have some of the pigment here. That talks seriously about this kind of formulation. And this eyeshadow is made in Italy, just as all her big eyeshadow palettes, with 18 shades ranging from matte and wet look eyeshadows. Here are the swatches under the sunlight. Sonia G Classic Crease, and I'm going with the shade High Life. And I'm gonna take this shade and applying it above the crease. Oh my gosh, this shade has so much pigment. So beautiful. We're gonna be doing 2 eyeshadow looks. I wanna take this shade called Oneself, and I'm gonna apply it on the outer third. Isum S33 brush and the shade Poise. And I'm gonna take this shade and applying it on the outer third of the eyelid. This is very much kind of like a grayish tone. I'm gonna deepen out the look going with Faux Fair. Just deepen it out a little more. Wow. Okay, that's stunning. That is stunning. And the tricky part is going to be what's the next shade, because there are so many shades that I want to try from this palette. Sonia G Builder Pro, and I'm going with the shade Aurora. And I'm applying it right here on the, close to the outer third. Honestly, I can take this shade and just apply it inner third all the way to the other side, but I still want to try more. Going to VVS, and I'm gonna take this shade and applying it inner third all the way to the middle of the eyelid. With this type of shade and this type of formula, I prefer to apply it with my finger. Prefer O3 brush and the shade Avalanche. And I'm just gonna tap it right here in the inner corner. Going into High Life and applying it on the lower lash line. Let's go to She Rich, and I'm gonna apply it on the outer third of the lower lash line. And here you have it. This is the first eyeshadow look. Let's go for the second eyeshadow look. I'm going with this shade called Cold Plunge, and I'm applying it above the crease. Going next with First Class, and this is a Sonia G Mini Booster. And I'm taking this shade and I'm going to apply it on the outer third and also right on the crease. Now let's go into the shade Unapologetic. And I'm going to take it on the outer V. I'm going to combine it a little bit with the shade Faux Fair, just to give it a little bit more intensity. Going with the shade Eyes Out. This formula is the same as this formula and this formula. So again, I'd rather apply it with my finger. Gorgeous Lilac Flip. Going with this pinky shade. Taking it on my inner corner. Going to First Class. And I'm just gonna run it on my lower lash line. Going into Unapologetic. And I'm taking this shade and applying it on the outer third of my lower lash line. The second look using Icy Nude. Let's go with the Huda Beauty Blush Filter in Cocoa, and let me just swatch it so you can see it, because right here on the doll foot it looks like chocolate. Let's go to this hand. But when I see it closer and when blending it, it does have a little bit of like a burgundy or like a reddish undertone. So it's in between that chocolate shade, but it does have a little bit of a berry, like a racing kind of undertone to it. Let me show you the other shade, which is Latte. I think Latte may be the best for my skin tone, but this one is more caramelly. They do have a very slight scent to it. Really nice. See, that is more caramelly. So I'm going to apply Coco Loco on this side. This is the first time that I'm going to be using this product from Huda. So I'm just going to do one dot. Oh my goodness, that's too much. This is just a lot for my skin tone. I mean, counting that, honestly, I shouldn't be applying a cream blush this way, but actually putting it on my hand and then applying it from there. But yeah, this has a lot of pigment and I don't like Coco Loco, at least on my skin tone. I think it's gonna be wonderful for those with deeper complexions, but on my skin tone it looks like somebody has punched me, and you know when the bruise develops, yeah, it doesn't look good on my skin tone. Whatever is remaining here, I'm just gonna keep applying it so you can see to the full intensity. Yeah, again, this color is going to be perfect for those with deeper complexions. Going next with Latte. Why put two if I know that these are so pigmented? I don't know. Okay, let's go for it. This shade is a lot better and very pretty. And by the way, this was another clean brush. I thought they were going to have a lot more like luminosity, but they don't. They actually don't, which I'm surprised. And both shades, they do have a berry undertone. You see right there? Let's try the faux fillers. I'm going to go first with this Chic Glitzy. It's like an icy tone. And it does have, it seems like a little bit of sparkles. Oh, I love to apply these glosses. They are just so hugging on the lips. Ah, so icy. Obsessed. Ah, sorry to say that word, but honestly, I'm obsessed with this shade. In fact, I'm going to tell you something. No, I'm going to tell you that in a second. Let me remove these and then apply this one. And this is more of that milky kind of tone. It's so beautiful too. Oh, this is really nice. I like this better than the, I don't remember if the shade is Baby from her, you know, like from her first launch of these fall fillers. I like this shade a lot better. So beautiful. You see how the lips, they look like glass? They totally do. I'm gonna reapply, oops, this baby. Are these limited edition? I don't know if these shades are limited edition. Hopefully they are not, because they are just so beautiful. So stunning. It's that milky shade that I absolutely love. So good. So good. The faux fillers, you know, friends, I rave about these lip glosses. They truly look like you have glass lips. And I have mentioned them on my video where I share with all of you the best lipsticks to me in the world. I'm a lipstick lover. Don't judge me, but I have over 500 lipsticks in different formulas, different, you know, variations, different finishes too, from lip glosses, lipsticks, etc. I mean, like so many lip oils, and these are outstanding. Now, what I was gonna say about this shade is that, oh my gosh, you know, if you have watched my review on Tom Ford's Holiday 2024 collection, that I'm obsessed. Sorry for the word, but this lip gloss in Celestial. This has more of like a frosty tone, a platinum undertone. This one has a little bit of pink in it, but very close. Very close. But if you don't want to splurge so much, even with the Sephora sale, that by the way, I will be doing my recommendations. You will see it fairly soon. This could be a good contender. Love this formulation nonetheless, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the deeper shade. In terms of the blush filters, perhaps these two shades, I mean, I like better Latte obviously than Coco Loco, because Coco Loco is just too intense for my skin tone. That's all what it is. It's not that it's a bad product. And then this one, Latte, I mean, it is okay. It kind of replace a little perhaps the bronzer and blush situation. That is the concept of it. Perhaps are just the shades. The pigmentation though is like so intense. So I'm really curious to try other shades of the blush filters because I like what I see. The finish is more like a natural, almost matte finish, so it's not dewy. If you're thinking, oh, it's gonna give you a dew, I have an unset makeup, but as you can tell, the blush itself is not dewy. You just have that blurring kind of effect. I think it's just the shades are not necessarily the ones that I look for. So, friends, what I think about the very last Huda Big Eyeshadow Palette. She said it. She said big. That's the key word right here. She didn't say that this is the last eyeshadow palette that she will be launching. She never said that. So, I mean, I'm sure that Huda, she's going to bring some other formats, perhaps her 9-pan palette, perhaps she will bring single eyeshadows or other formats, something different and not so big, because that's what we're seeing lately. Like, people are trying to go for quads. In the past, quads were like, oh, who wants a quad? I want more eyeshadows. Now it's all the opposite. People are wanting something smaller and smaller. We have to see what Huda is going to bring us for 2025. But the eyeshadow palette is incredible. The matte eyeshadows. So blurring, airbrush. That is something that with age, if you're not stepping into aging yet, I tell you, you will go through it. And the eyelids just become a little bit drier. And the least that you want is to emphasize texture either with metallic shades or like very dry matte eyeshadows. Well, this is the complete opposite. The matte eyeshadows are so smooth, creamy without being a cream, but they do have emollients that makes more of like a velvet finish. Oh, it's just spectacular. I love about this eyeshadow palette. In terms of these very special shades, 1, 2, 3, love them. Apply them with your fingers. Again, if you have texture, the warmth of your fingers, they already have so many like emollients, oiliness in it, that they are so beautiful. I mean, like, do you see like how they reflect that glass kind of effect? Look how they look on the eyes. Oh. These are just so incredible. The sun is about to set. I'm just so happy about it because it got so warm here in the room. But the eyeshadows are just wonderful. And this is a palette that, although it is mostly like 80% a cool tone palette, Huda, she knows her game, and she brings us a little bit of warm tone shades, which is great. Say you're in a pinch and this is perhaps the only eyeshadow palette that you want to pick up during the holiday season. You still have some warm tones that you can play with. The mirror size, amazing too. Going into the warm tones again. These are the warm tones that you have on this palette. This one is also a little bit of a warm tone. If anything, I wish to have seen this shade, although beautiful and metallic-y, I wish to have seen this same golden shade, which is stunning nonetheless, on this kind of formulation. These formulas are very, very special, and perhaps the formula that costs the most out of these palettes, because if you were able to tell, even after I swatch them, like, look, I'm gonna swatch this one here, right? Gorgeous, beautiful. Look how much there is on my finger. To achieve that is not easy. So apply it with your fingers. Anyhow, I wish that she could have done this shade on this same formulation. This shade, which is not really a shade, but it's just glitter. You're gonna need a glitter glue, and I think, to my humble point of view, perhaps unnecessary for an eyeshadow palette. If I want glitter, I will just buy glitter separately. I would have rather seen an extra shade on this formulation, or even a matte chocolate true brown neutral shade to go with these shades over here, because these two other shades, they do have, this one is aubergine and this shade also has a little bit of like a rosy undertone. I mean, nobody asked for, my feedback on that perhaps, but that's what I would have done a little bit different about the palette. In general, one of the best palettes that it has launched lately. There has been so many launches lately that is just too much, and not all of them are good. And by the way, don't worry, because I will be uploading my recommendations for the Sephora sale, so you will see that up next.